So, speaking of what you teach your kids, we have a fan spam question. One viewer asked directly, do you think Jordan would have treated Mina the same way if she were a white woman?
You think I come here for the green card?
You're so much younger. Like, how do I know you're not just with my dad for his money?
There's been conversation around whether Mina's treatment from Jordan has anything to do with Mina's race. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I don't think so at all. I think Jordan's got been a little misinterpreted. Maybe some of the stuff she said could have been said in a different way, but I don't think at all it has anything to do with race. I think Jordan's just protecting, she was looking out for me and thinking, she didn't get a chance to meet Mina other than the time in Paris when we had the baby baptism. And so she didn't get a lot of time to get to know her. And Mina's English was a work in progress early on, so that made conversations a little difficult. Je parle un peu français, so I can communicate with Mina better than my non-French speaking family. So I don't think she got to know her, and maybe because I dated some younger women previously, and didn't go well or end well, and maybe she was just coming at it from that angle. But Jordan is the same as all my son and all of us. We all have friends in all races and ethnicities, and it's not about that. So there's no way Jordan would have been different if Mina was white. So I think her concerns were concerns she had, and everyone has the right to an opinion.
So my first reaction was, oh, Jordan's protecting her dad. But what do you say to viewers who feel as if she's trying to protect her inheritance?
I don't think that either. I mean, Jordan knows I'm still out here working. I'm not, if I was that well off, I'd be, home, living on the yacht somewhere, I mean, so I'm still out here working and trying to take care of my family. And so I don't think it was inheritance at all. I think it's totally to what you just said about, she's a daddy's girl, and now she's engaged and moving on with her life. And, her fiance is multiracial. And so she has no skin color issues our whole family, it's about the person. It's not about anything other than their heart. Maybe I relied on Jordan too much after the divorce, because she was older, like 17 or so when me and my ex-wife got divorced, and I was always close with both my kids, older kids, but Jordan, was always the ear to listen to, and dad being maybe lonely a little bit, and maybe I went, dated some people I shouldn't have. I don't know, but I was just trying to, you just try to be happy and not lonely, and maybe I involved Jordan too much. And maybe I've always, been too easygoing or, spoiler too much. But she's a great person on her own and independent, as is her fiance. They completely have their own life and are very strong, independent-minded people, and I'm happy for them. And I wish Jordan hadn't taken some of the online, because she's a great person, and of course I love both my daughters, but I wish things hadn't gone the way they did with what some of the viewers think of her, because I think it's a misconception. She's a great person and with a big heart.
Yeah, how is her relationship with Maria now? I know some viewers were shocked at how she kind of would distance herself from Maria at times.
Even going back to Paris, before 3 years ago, I mean, she bonded with Maria early on, and so I just think some of what's been seen isn't the whole picture.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I mean about misconception, because Jordan loves her sister and her sister loves her, and so they're pretty bonded. So it's.
How has Jordan responded to all the backlash? How is she taking it?
I think for anyone, it's hard, to have any negativity, about you. And I'm always trying to be as positive a person as I can in all realms of life, whether it's work or family and relationships, and especially with your kids. I mean, my kids are my foremost, and your spouse. Your spouse should be first, and your kids, your family. So for her, I think it's been difficult to hear, kind of some negativity because she's very sensitive
Yeah.
person, and I think she took it kind of hard. And I told her, you can't please everyone, even though I've come across that way too, probably.
Yeah, Mr. Mark, we've noticed some people pleasing in you. Yeah.
I know. So she probably learned it from me. So again, this is where I go back to. It's probably some of this is my fault.
Yeah.
I wish I would have stood up for Mina a little more. We just want a happy family. That's all we want.
I think you're a snake. Now, don't come into my wedding.
That's fine.
I'll be honest with you, Mr. Mark. I wasn't a huge fan of Mina at first. From the outside, it felt like she might have been with you more for lifestyle. And more importantly, I really wanted to see her take more of a leadership role when it comes to Jordan. From my perspective, she has more power to set a warm tone in that dynamic than she's been willing to use. What's your take on that? I know Mina's been in a tough position. There's a language barrier and all of that. But do you see room for her to take more initiative in creating peace with Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I go back to honestly blaming myself because early on, I didn't find out Jordan's kind of concerns over what happened in Paris at the baby baptism till we kind of had that outing and she brought it up. And then I went and told Mina, which I shouldn't have done. I should have probably let that go and let her and Mina react to each other when Mina arrived. And instead, I kind of filled Mina in on some of Jordan's concerns. And that was probably a bad move on my part. So Mina kind of got on the defensive right away before she even got to see. And Mina knows how close I am with Jordan. So maybe she, I think that might have impacted the dynamic a little bit. So I take the heat for that. It's probably my fault. And if I could do that over again, I would have, but I can't. I'm trying to get and I think they're getting much better. They kind of apologize to each other, and I think they both want each other to be happy. So we're working towards that.
Yeah, I will say as the show goes on, my opinion on Mina continues to evolve. And I feel like I have a better gist of who she is as a woman now. And it aligns with how you speak of her. Does she still think Jordan is a snake, or has that shifted at all?
No, and that whole thing was some of maybe that word, and I defended Jordan on that. I don't like that word, right? That sounds pretty aggressive, but it was more about not coming directly to Mina and just saying, I wasn't happy with this happening, and instead telling me, but never bringing it up to Mina. So it was kind of Mina's take on it is like going behind her back instead of, if she would have just talked directly to her. Mina thinks they could have worked it out. She could have explained herself. And again, I defend Mina on that issue in Paris and support her on that. So I just think, I wish that hadn't have happened, but I'm glad they've kind of apologized to each other. And I feel like they're good, I think. So hopefully, and hopefully it continues to get better.
I do think that she is the one that got away for him.
Are you still friends with Diana after she literally told Mina your ex Jade is the one who got away for you?
I was a bit surprised. I was really surprised. And it's funny, I hear the comments, why did you leave and let Diana talk directly to me?
Yes, right. I'm like, Mr. Mark, what are you doing?
Well, sometimes I'm not very smart, but but I really just thought they'd shop, and I didn't want to sit around looking at dresses. So I was taking Maria to get some ice cream, but I was surprised Diana said all that. But I had nothing to fear because there was, and some of that was exaggerated on any kind of cheating or infidelity. Me and Jade had kind of moved on and broke up, and before I met Mina, and so there was no infidelity or cheating of any kind. But the car thing I'd never talked about because that was kind of silly.
Did you get the BMW yet?
Come on. Don't tell her about that. I actually gave my kids an incentive to get a college scholarship by telling them I would buy them a car if they got a college scholarship. And they both did, which saved me money on college tuition. So I bought her a car, and it was used. It wasn't like a, expensive BMW. But Jade liked her own style cars, which happened to be similar. And I only helped her. I didn't buy her a car. I just helped her, in the process. But that's not a thing with me where I'm going out spending extravagant.
Yeah, there's this idea being painted of you, Mr. Mark, that you are balling and basically a sugar daddy.
I mean, I think we all like nice things if you can afford it, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, Mina's happy with nice things too, but there's more to it than that, obviously.
Watcher Kristen wants to know, when did Mark get his pilot license and how long has he been flying? Did you ever work for a major airline? They have pilots in their family, so they're curious.
Oh, that's cool. I love I get a lot of people coming to me in messages talking about the flying and some of the other cast actually too, so that might switch over. But I started flying in my 20s, early 20s. I mean, I went to college and got a business degree and worked as a stockbroker for a little bit in New York, and then moved to LA and started flying in LA because I had an year older friend who I played high school sports with, who was a pilot for the airlines. He took me up, and I'd always kind of loved the idea of it, and I got the bug once I went flying. So I kind of left the business world in my mid-20s and started taking flight lessons in Burbank, California, when I was living in Los Angeles with a girlfriend. And I never looked back. I love flying. It's being up in the air and kind of that feeling you get, and it doesn't feel like work to me. And that's why I wanted to do something. You're going to work, 40 years, 45 years of your life. I wanted to actually do something I enjoyed every day to get up for. And I didn't work for an airline. I initially got all my pilot's ratings. You have to get your commercial, multi-engine. I flew skydivers for a couple of years.
Okay.
And that's where I met my first wife. And outside Atlanta, Georgia, actually.
I'm from Atlanta.
I know, Howard, right? And great town. And so, it was fun flying skydivers, great experience. And then I kind of moved into a private jet because I was working at a private airport outside Atlanta. And, I've got buddies who work in the airlines.
Peachtree Airport?
Yeah, PDK. Exactly.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, I did a little shoot there one day. Cool, that's so cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I worked there for a couple of years and met a lot of private jet crews, and I was flying skydivers while I was kind of at the airport working and flight instructing too. And then I got offered a job on a jet, and I just kind of went from one jet to another. And I like the private side, like literally I probably wouldn't have met Mina if not, because we'll go to Paris and spend 8-10 days and I'm staying with the passengers while we're there, as opposed to the airlines where you're going to fly over and next day you're flying back. So it's a different lifestyle. So, but I love it. It's cool.
Big time. Mr. Mark, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing clarity to us. We wish you and Mina the best. Also Maria, Clayton, and Jordan. I'll tell you, Jordan, I've always had her back. There have been some moments where, okay, Jordan, I'm like, you're doing too much, but I understand her.
And she has a lot of supporters too. So I'm glad you do as well. And I appreciate the time with you. It's been a joy. Appreciate it.
All right. See you later.